Hi, welcome everybody to the Wolfman Gardening Channel. If you can't tell, today I am super excited, super stoked. We are actually separating our tomato seedlings and they're gonna graduate to a bigger pot. Each one of these little guys here, we're gonna separate them out now and put them all in their own individual pots. When we planted these, we put them in seed mix, right? Seed mix is great because it's real fluffy. It's got a lot of perlite, it's got a lot of vermiculite in it. Now they're gonna graduate to their own 4-inch pots, and they also graduate into the soil. So they get their own garden soil. And what we're using is this stuff here. It's just regular potting soil. So you can use organic, you can use whatever you want. You can use potting soil, you can use potting mix. It doesn't matter once they're up to this age here, because the seed doesn't have to worry about pushing through any of the chunks. So therefore it's germinated, it's ready to go, and now your tomato needs a little more nutrients. So therefore it's outgrown its seed start. So we're mixing our soil, pretty simple. We're doing 5 parts garden soil, 1 part vermiculite, 1 part perlite. That's simple. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. We've got our we've got our check sheet here. I've already done one because I thought I was recording, but I guess I wasn't. We're gonna match it to our label here. And like I said, we've got these pots already filled. We've got them labeled. We're also gonna come back in and label them with these. If that washes off, we don't have to worry about having them mislabeled. Now, like I said, you're going to take this little thing here and you're going to slowly work these out until you get the root ball out, like so. Now then, you're going to make you a nice little hole here. And we're going to gently separate these out. Like so. There's one with a little root ball here. We're going to bury it down here. You want to bury it as deep as you can. Because remember that these here, you can bury them all the way up to these leaves here, and everything down here will become root. It's like one of the plants that you can actually bury as deep as you can, and wherever the stem touches soil, it's going to grow roots. Now we need to separate these out a little bit more. And like I said, these may shock them just a little bit, but for the most part, these will recover well. Just keep them under light, under your grow lights. And that's it. Like I said, that one little cell right here, we had 7 tomato plants in. And now once we separate them out and get them in here, we'll water them good, put them under the light, and you should be good to go. Now, if these here if you haven't been taking these out to the greenhouse and letting them harden off a little bit, I wouldn't recommend taking these straight out to the greenhouse because the shock will kill them. So, but if you've been hardening them off and they're already used to it, once you transplant them in, I would leave them indoors a little bit, or at least a few days, and let them kind of acclimate to the transition, and then you can transplant them out into the greenhouse. But for the most part, we are not going to do that because we have enough space here and enough light that we can get all of these underneath the grow light. So we still got 3 more. Like I said, I shortened the label on that one. You can label them however you want. Just make sure you remember what it is, because I didn't want to write Mountain Princess on every single one of these. It would take way too long, and I'm way too lazy. There we go. Look at that. So we've got, so far, just out of this one seedling cell, We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have 2 more that we can do. So there's 7 altogether just in this one little cell. That's why I said you can oversow in the beginning when they're seeding, because you can always come in and separate them out. There you have it. 7 tomato plants separated out of this one. And as you can see, this Mountain Princess, we could probably get about 40 tomato plants just out of this one row here. Alright, now there's more than one way to grow these tomatoes and separate them. I planted them all in these little pods here. You don't have to, I mean, if you don't have those, there's no sense in going to buy them. And just like this one here, same thing, 4 different varieties in here. I grew a few Brandywine in one, Manitoba, Roma, and Black Krim. Like I said, you could use a solo cup. You use whatever you want. So you don't have to go these big trays and grow as many as what I'm growing. So when you're buying containers, that's a lot of containers to fill. That's a lot of soil preparation, you know. So you want to get some containers that doesn't cost a whole lot, but they're still good enough to use. Now, we use these here every now and then, but trying to separate these things, I mean, you almost rip these things just trying to get these things, just these 4 seed cells separated from each other. And these are about $4 or $5 for 32 cells. So, and the only reason I buy these, I will buy these every now and then and spend the 20 minutes separating these things out. With that being said, I also want to be able to bottom water the tomatoes. And these, when you can bottom water, but these will eventually get real brittle because they're soaked all the time. They soak up a lot of water and it doesn't do as well. I recommended before, these right here, if you can see, these things here, I got 140 of them off of Amazon, and it only cost me about, I think, $10 or $11 or something. And it's not bad. But you'll notice these are 4-inch pots. So this takes quite a bit of soil to separate. And when you separate them, and you have this one tomato, it's got plenty of root growth and everything. But, like I said, that's a lot of soil. Oh, we almost dropped that one. That's a lot of soil, and like I said, it depends on how many you're going to grow, on whether or not. If you're not growing a whole lot, I would recommend the 4-inch pots, and you can actually bottom water, and it does well. I came across these today at Atwood's, and there's 12 per pack, so you get 12 of them for $1.57, which isn't too bad. I bought 10 of them today for about $12, $13. And the last one you can use, and I use these quite a bit. If I'm, like I said, if I'm not, I'll use these for like the peppers or something, or maybe broccoli or something like that. But these, the only downfall is too, there is no holes in the bottom. They are biodegradable. You can actually plant them straight into the ground. They don't hold as much soil, so it won't cost you as much in soil. And that was the only other good thing about these, were these are 3-inch pots compared to the 4-inch. Saves you a little bit of money on soil. When you have as many tomato plants as what if you'll notice these 3 cells, that's out of the 20 varieties, and I'm already at 100 tomato plants. So I still got 17 varieties to go. So we're going to have a ton of tomato plants, and it's going to cost a fortune to put them all in their own little seed pot. Alright, what we did was we mixed our 5 to 1 to 1 ratio, mix it up in here. We put those into these little 3-inch pots. Now then, this row here is our Canyon tomatoes, and we don't have very many of them. We've been getting about 25, 30 plants per row, but this one here, There must have not have been as many, and they may not have germinated as well. But we're only going to have about 11 of these. I'm taking this here, and we're going to slide it in behind these. We're going to pop this little plug out like so. Put that out of the way. You can loosen the soil up. You can roll it a little bit. You can loosen that soil up a little bit. And then these two should separate fairly easy. There we go. We got our two camions. Now just take your thumb, make an indentation. I would try to go as deep as you can, maybe all the way to the bottom. Drop that in, kind of push it down just a little bit. Hold this little leaf real easy, kind of push on the sides. It'll cave that little hole in. Pack it down, get some of the air out from around the roots. And there we have it. One camion planted. Alright, let's get a final tally out of all the tomato plants that we got. We got all of these, and we've got these guys here. We still have room down here for our peppers. We got room for over here a little bit. We got our broccoli is doing nice. So, and you'll notice on some of these where I didn't go with a 4-inch pot, these right here are most of the ones that I'm gonna plant myself in my garden. All the other ones over here, these are the ones that I will probably do most of and sell most of these. Let me know what you decide that what do you like to plant and transplant your tomatoes or your seedlings in, or do you just take them straight from the little seed pods straight to the ground? Let me know. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Think about subscribing to the channel. This helps me reach more viewers and more people. Don't forget to leave your comments down in the bottom. That way you may have a question that somebody else has, so we can all answer and help each other out. Like I said, we're all in this together. And like always, keep it growing.